Video games are an art form. The amount of work it takes to make even a subpar game requires more effort than I've ever exerted in my entire life. And like all good art, a good game should leave you different than how it found you. And I think a lot of modern games do an incredible job of this. For the first playthrough, at least. You see, a lot of modern games go for spectacle, packed with moments of, wow, this is amazing. But sometimes that leads to subsequent playthroughs leaning more toward, wow, I've seen this before. So I come to you today with a very simple question. If you could wipe your memory of a single video game to experience it with a fresh set of eyes for the very first time again, which game would you pick? 'Cause I've got a couple I would go with. And before we get started, I just want to say that less than 70% of my audience is subscribed, and I'm a level with you. I understand that YouTubers have to say that stuff to like grow, but it's kind of cringe every time. If you like the video, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. I don't know what to tell you, dog. I'm not gonna beg. This video is very unscripted, which you'll be able to tell very soon. That intro bit was scripted, but from here on, I am flying by the seat of my pants. Also, sorry that my hair is like this. It's been literally a year and a half since I've had it cut. Without further ado, let's talk about games that we wish we could play for the first time again. I've limited my list here at 5 because this topic is so broad that I could talk about it for hours. Let's hop into the first one. Or I guess last up on the list. I don't. It's gonna be Minecraft. And I know that that's a little surprising, probably, because Minecraft is the biggest game ever, but I have my reasons. Minecraft is just so complicated now that people who experience it for the first time in 2022 are getting a completely different experience than what I got back in 2010. There's a fire engine going by? I started playing Minecraft back in the classic days, back when you could still play it on a web browser in a little square window. I think I may have been 9 or 10 the first time I played it, and even that stripped down web classic version was a little overwhelming to jump into for the first time. The only reason it's not higher on the list is because I have no concept of what it's like to play it now for the first time. There are so many things that have been added that I don't even know. Elytras are crazy, and those still feel like they're new. When did they actually come out? Oh god, hold on. When did Elytras get added to Minecraft? Elytras were apparently added in October of 2015, and in my mind, they are still relatively new. So God knows what else has been changed and added that I have no concept of. There are just so many different ways to experience Minecraft now that I can't even fathom what is the best way to see it now. Is it better to start in the early days? Is it better to start with what they have now and work your way back to see where it came from? I genuinely don't know. And that's the only reason it's this low on the list, because it kind of hurts my brain to think about. Next up, we got Mario Odyssey, which is probably one of my favorite games ever. It is so good, and the first time you play it is just literally magical. Like, everything feels just the right amount of fan servicey, and while that does diminish on subsequent playthroughs, there's so much to do in this game that I feel like you don't really notice that it's diminished until you're going for like an 100% run, which I have not done, so I guess this list can change at some point, but that first time is just so magical. I went in as spoiler-free as I possibly could. I saw the announcement trailer, and I think that was it. Seeing the festival in New Donk City for the first time was magical. It is so unexpected and out of left field, and it is great. So is the ending of the game. I guess I can spoil it because it's been like 4 years. You play as Bowser, and it's cool, and then you get to be 8-bit Bowser, and it's neat. The whole game just rules. It was the first game I got with my Switch, so it was kind of that double spectacle factor where, wow, I'm playing this brand new incredible Mario game in high definition on this little machine that I have just opened out of a box. What? It's very good still. It's a very good game, but that first time is Just so good. Next up, we're gonna go with Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, whatever you want to call it. I had so much fun with this game. Very rarely do I get so absorbed into a piece of media that I just have to see it all the way through to the end. When I watch a movie at home, I pause it and walk around. When I am playing video games, I pause it and walk around. I walk around a lot. I am kind of aimless most of the time, to be honest. But Village just had me hooked. Like, from the first 20 minutes until the end of the game, I was just in for the ride. It was like a roller coaster. I am not a fan of scary games. I'm a wimp. I haven't even played all the way through Resident Evil 7. I've played through the first 2 hours, I think. It's good, but it's too scary for me. I played the first 3 Five Nights at Freddy's games. I played Slender the Arrival, and the end of list for the most part. I don't like scary games. But Resident Evil Village makes you feel like a badass by the end. That first time you go through, everything is terrifying. I know everyone was horny for the big vampire mom. I was scared of her. She has knives for like hands. She like slashes and shit. That's scary. I can't get horny for that. I don't even want to spoil what happens in the second chapter of the game, because it is without a doubt one of the scariest things I have ever experienced through a piece of media. Even then, the story and the characters were enough to keep me hooked in that I played through most of that game in about 3 days, I think. I remember talking to my friends on Discord who were also playing it, and they were ahead of me. And then I very quickly passed them and accidentally spoiled what one of the boss fights was. Sorry. My mic just died in the middle of what I was saying, and to be honest, I kind of forget. But I've played through this game a couple times after the first run through, and this might sound insane coming from someone who just ranted about how they don't like scary games, but having that fear factor in that first run really, really helped. I mean, I enjoyed subsequent playthroughs. You enable some of those cheats, infinite grenades, infinite shotgun ammo, infinite revolver ammo. It becomes an 80s action B-movie. You are just tearing through everyone. Sorry, Vampire Mommy, you're not very scary anymore, because I have a lot of ammunition. There are so many twists and turns in the story of Resident Evil Village that you really do need to play it for yourself, and I would love to be able to experience that for the first time again. That's kind of the theme of this video. I keep saying that as if you don't know the title of this video. We're 3 entries in. You know what I'm going to say. I want to play these games again for the first time. It's over in a couple hours. It is the perfect length for a game. I don't want a fucking 80-hour long game. I'm not going to play Elden Ring. I can't do it. So when a game has a story to tell, tells it quickly, and is fucking really good at making me almost shit my pants in the best way possible, I want to experience that again. Give me some DLC. Give me Resident Evil 9. I want more, please, Capcom. The runner-up has gotta be Red Dead Redemption 2. Donkey and Snaky Jakey have made some really good videos picking apart the flaws in this game, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but that first playthrough is beautiful. I preloaded the game at launch, so the second the clock struck midnight, I was up playing up until about 3 in the morning, I want to say, and I had school the following day. It was worth it though. The story that Red Dead Redemption 2 tells is just magical. From start to end, you are hooked in this experience, and you feel everything Arthur feels, even if you make him kill all the innocent civilians, which I don't do that. Arthur's a nice guy. He doesn't massacre. But after you finish that story and you do the side quests and you do the post-game content and you play the very little there is to play in Red Dead Online, you want to experience that magic again. And unfortunately, more so than the other games on this list, the magic is kind of dead at that point. Don't get me wrong, I have played through this game like 3 or 4 times at this point. I know I just said I don't like big 80-hour long games, but Cowboys, I like myself some Cowboys. I like rootin' and tootin' and shootin', and there is a lot in this game that is built for the first time player. You have so many missions that are just ride your horse here, wait, ride your horse somewhere else, shoot people. And the first time, you are so engrossed in the story, you want to know what happens next, you kind of don't notice that. Or at least I didn't. I didn't have any real complaints with this game the first time I played it. It was just magical. The horse testicles shrink. What more can I ask for? But, God, especially those first couple hours replaying it, it is just, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. You already know what's going on in the story now, so there's nothing that really keeps you hooked. A lot like Mario Odyssey, there is a lot of side content I missed the first time. There were entire quest lines, or side quest lines, I guess, that I missed out on. And when I discovered those, I got to feel a little taste of that magic. Just a little bit of that magic. Just a tiny smidge of that magic. But that is not enough to keep me playing this massive behemoth of a game over and over again. God, I would love DLC or another Red Dead game, but Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably 10 years away still, so see you for Red Dead 3 in 2040. I am still holding out hope that Rockstar will release Agent. The PS3 really needs a good exclusive right now. And finally, last but certainly not least, is Portal 2.
And Portal. And Half-Life. And Half-Life 2. And Half-Life 2 Episode 1. And Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
But mostly Portal 2. Now, I know I said I limited this list to 5 games, but it's my video. I don't give a shit. I can do what I want. It's a tie, baby. 6-way tie, baby. 6-way tie for first. What are you gonna do about it? My fucking video. Valve games just have crack in them. That is a wild thing to say out of context, I guess. Every time I play a Valve story-driven game, I am hooked from start to finish. The first time I played Half-Life, it blew my fucking mind. And now there's Black Mesa, which puts it on par with Half-Life 2 level design and the episodes. Half-Life 2 is obviously, it is one of the greatest games ever made. I have played through it so many times. But the big meat and potatoes I want to talk about for number 1 is Portal 2. Portal 2 is without a doubt my favorite game of all time. Well, yeah, Portal 2 is my favorite game of all time, for sure. Probably. You don't even need to know what really happened in Portal 1 because it doesn't really matter. You know GLaDOS died, you know you did it. That's pretty much all you need to know to get into this game. And the story is just so expertly written that from beginning to end, I am just... Every time I sit down to play a couple of chambers, I end up playing through the whole game again. It is just... It's that good. I'm very excited for them to release it on Switch so I can play it again. The twists and turns the story takes you on are so unexpected and just incredible. J. Jonah Jameson tells you about moon rocks and lemons. Play the funny lemon meme. Play the lemon line. That makes the Redditors laugh. And the final boss just takes everything you've learned from the game and throws it all back at you at once, and you just have to navigate it, and it's... I could talk about Portal 2 for literally hours, but I won't yet. Maybe a future video. Everything about it, from the single player to the co-op to the time trials. I didn't even mention the co-op yet. There's a whole other game. There's a whole other game in this game. Pull up the funny exhibit photo. The co-op campaign is honestly so good standalone that I'm kind of surprised it didn't get any kind of standalone release. It should be impossible for a game to be this good and resonate with me on all of these levels, but Portal 2 manages to do it. And I mean, like I said, the other Valve games are really good. I would love to play Portal 1 for the first time again, get that whole cake is a lie twist. The whole reason I wanted to do this list was actually Portal 1. There's this really good video essay that showcases how different Portal 1 can be from a returning player's eyes versus a new player's eyes. And that kind of inspired this whole video. So thank you for that. Hello, I'm sitting on the floor right now. I was just editing this video and realized I never actually said any reason why I want to replay Portal 2 for the first time. And it's way too late to reshoot this video, so let's do a little editor's note. I just think the story, while it's still good and funny now, the first time I played it was wild. I didn't know video games could tell stories like that. I was 13 maybe when I played it, and it it rocked my gourd. I had never seen anything like Portal 2 before. Also, at this point, I have most of the puzzles memorized. Like, I know their solutions, so I'm kind of just forced to play, like, Portal 2 mods and the weird custom chambers people make. Don't get me wrong, the puzzles are still fun to replay, but it would be cool to experience them with a fresh set of eyes for the first time again. Alright, back to the video. There are so many games that I could list here. I might have to make a follow-up to this video. I don't know. If you have any games that you think fit this criteria of masterful the first playthrough and a little bit lesser each subsequent time, let me know. This is a fascinating topic that I want to talk to more people about. Anyways, that's all I got. Bye.